So Miss Cupcake began as a stall in 2010. I believe it was at Greenwich Market. It was run by Melissa Morgan, who I think, if I remember rightly, she was a school teacher and she was doing the stall on the side, which, a lot of us have our side hustles. So the store became really, really popular to the point that in 2011 she opened the UK's first all vegan bakery shop in Brixton. And it not only sold cakes, it also sold savoury items as well. So you could go there, you could get your cake, but you could also get like sandwiches, I think things like vegan sausage rolls and items like that. Now, at the time, I was well into my cake baking business. I was doing stalls at the time, and one of the stalls that I used to do regularly was called Crafty Fox, and they used to hold stalls. It was mainly in Brixton, but then they spread their wings because if you look now, they have markets everywhere. And I remember having this stall there, and Miss Cupcake was there. Her shop was open then, but she still had a stall. And I was quite excited because I kind of been following her journey, and it was really good to see her there and I actually met her. And she tasted one of my cakes because I always made sure whenever I did a cake stall, there would at least be a vegan option or a gluten-free option. So she tasted one of my cakes. Obviously, it was a vegan one, and she said, "Oh, it tastes really nice," and had a little chat. And she was just a lovely, lovely person. Her stall was obviously quite popular because she'd really built a name for herself then. So that was kind of my experience with her. I'm absolutely gutted though that I never actually physically got to go to her shop. So Roller 2020, we know what 2020 was about, but I'm online and I'm reading that the shop is going to close. And I'm like, what? Um, I went to her website and I saw the statement on her website. Basically, it was almost a victim of its own success because veganism over the years had become so popular and so mainstream that the major supermarkets had finally taken notice, and most of the major supermarkets had their own kind of, vegan range. And as an independent shop, trying to compete with that is always hard because major supermarkets have big budgets, so they can make items at a lower cost than an independent an independent bakery. Also factoring that the regular, high rents, high food costs, and it was time for her to close. She decided to close, and I was so upset and gutted about that because I think independent bakeries, independent shops are so important. But what I will say is that her being a pioneer in like the vegan bakery industry, sort of, it definitely, you can see now there are so many places that are just vegan. So I know there are a couple of vegan only restaurants. There's a couple that I want to try, and I think she was a major part in that happening. And that veganism is so widely accepted now as being, valid. Um, so yeah, it was very sad to see. I know in the statement she talks about, probably doing more books because she already had a cake book out and sort of other things, but I haven't really heard much from her since then. But obviously, 2020 was that year, so I don't know what she could have really done anyway. Just 2020 just messed up a lot of people. So I mentioned her book. This is the book, The Naughtiest Vegan Cakes in Town. This is the book. It's got loads of, oh, it's a really nice book. And it's not just cakes in there. There is some savoury stuff and pastry stuff as well. Um, so that's the book. You can get it anywhere online. I've actually only made one thing. I've had the book for ages, but I've only actually made one thing out of it, which I think was a blueberry loaf, which was really nice. But I do want to try and make some more things from it. So definitely go and support. Like I say, she's a pioneer in what she did. So definitely go and support. So that's my story time today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check out another story time, why don't you check out the Why I decided in 2021 to close my Kate business. Until next time, Kate lovers.